On this video, I'm going to show you 10 things you can do to get your license faster. One of the tips is going to really surprise you, but trust me, it works. Let's get into it. The younger you start driving, the easier it's going to be for you to learn. It's been proven that the older you get, the harder it is to learn new skills. This isn't me telling you that if you're over 18 or reach a certain age, that then it's too late for you to start learning to drive. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying start now. Don't leave it longer than you need to. That way you're going to find it easier. So learning to drive requires money, unless you know someone who's teaching you for free. But if you don't have enough money, it's going to be hard for you to have lessons regularly, and that's really important. So make sure you either have a job or some sort of income source or some money saved so that you can dedicate that money towards your driving lessons. Now, I get asked a lot about the theory test. People say, should I do my theory test first or should I do my driving lessons first? And I recommend that you do a theory test and get that out of the way. And this is because a lot of people that I've taught, they'll have it in the mind, they'll do the theory test later on, but then some people can't pass it, and then that makes them spend more money on driving lessons and makes them take longer to pass because now they're having to pass the theory test. And if you're one of those people that are struggling to pass the theory test, we have an excellent group which is helping lots of people to pass their test. Some people have come to our group on the verge of giving up because they thought they couldn't do it anymore. They couldn't score more than 43, they couldn't score more than 40. And then they joined our group, came to our Zoom sessions, which are twice a week, did the online course, joined the WhatsApp group, which is all included in your membership, and then they went on to pass. So if this sounds like something that could help you, make sure you check in the link in the description and I'll see you there once you've joined. Now, switching and changing driving instructors all the time is not ideal, especially if you're not doing it for good reasons. If you've got a good instructor, you should stick with them because they're going to teach you a consistent way, and that way you're not going to be shown different things and you're not going to get confused. And hopefully that will help you to then learn faster and get a license quicker. Having said that, you should change your instructor if they're not good. So sometimes you might get an instructor which you don't get along with, or maybe they're not giving you enough lessons, or they just don't feel right for you, or you don't feel right in the car, you're always nervous in the car because of them, and you feel like it's taking you longer because of that, then you should change them. There are lots of really good instructors out there, so don't feel like you have to be stuck with a really bad one. And the best way to find a good instructor is by asking friends and family, because they will have a personal experience with that instructor and they can recommend a good one. Most people don't like homework because it reminds them of school and doing work. But when I'm talking about homework, I'm talking about doing some extra research after you finish a lesson. What you find is people that just do lessons and then forget about driving, they take a lot longer because they're not doing any extra work outside. If you can watch videos on certain topics that you're struggling with, or when you're out and about, look at signs, look at what people are doing, ask people what they're doing in terms of driving. So that way you have your mind on driving, so that when you go for the next lesson, it's just topping up what you've learned before, and that will accelerate your learning so much faster if you keep curious outside of the driving lessons. And it's going to save you money in the long run as well, because you're actually doing a lot of learning outside of the car, but then you're just adding more on top of that once you go back to your instructor. Do your homework, keep curious, ask questions, and you see your learning will accelerate. Talking of homework, this is something that you can do from early on, or if you're a parent and you've got kids, this is something that you can do to help them pass their test a lot faster. And that is making sure they're paying attention in the car. So if you've got like a child or even an adult who's always on their phone or something in the car, not paying attention to what's happening, not paying attention to their driver, when they get to do their driving lessons now, everything's going to be completely new. And that's going to take time and money. To avoid that, what you should do is make sure you're paying attention in the car. So if someone's driving, you want to look at what they're doing, how are they changing gears, why are they changing gears, what's happening with that traffic light, why is the driver not moving. Ask questions and pay attention to what's happening around you and pretend that you're the driver. Even if you're not around cars, let's say some people don't have that privilege of being a family member having a car, you can be on the bus and then sit in the front and think, oh, what's that driver doing? Why did that person beat that person? Who's going to go first? Who should go first? That kind of thing helps you to learn how to drive a lot faster. So during your driving lessons, you want to ask lots of questions. So in my experience, the learners that learn the fastest and get the license quickest are the ones that are always asking questions, because in that lesson, whether it's an hour and a half, 2 hours, or an hour, you don't have much time. But the more questions you ask, the more you're learning. I know some people can be really shy, so I get some learners who are like just, they don't ask questions, or if you ask them questions yourself, you're just like, yes, no. Or they're not really that engaged. I guess that's some people's personality, but if you can, ask lots of questions. Don't be shy to ask questions, because that's what the instructor is there for. They're there to help you to understand certain topics. Even if you think you know the answer, but you're not sure, just ask it. Now, there's a time and place for it, obviously. The instructor might then tell you, look, try to make up your own mind right now, because you're trying to build up your confidence, and asking all the time might not be that helpful. But I'm talking about things that you don't know about. And if you're not sure about something, make sure you're asking, so that way you learn a lot faster. You probably heard before somewhere else that consistency is key. When I did my driving lessons, I was not consistent at all, and it took me too long. I would take breaks here and there and stop here, change instructors, all this kind of stuff. It took me a long time. But if you're consistent, which means maybe one lesson a week at least, or if you can, sometimes twice a week, you're gonna learn much faster. So the people that pass the quickest with me anyway are the ones that will do like 3 lessons a week. I don't always do that with people because it doesn't always work for everyone, including myself. But if we can fit them in somehow and they're doing 3 lessons a week, they will learn much faster than doing it, once every 2 weeks or taking a month off here and there, because you're always then playing catch up, and that will take you much longer. So if you're consistent, you're going to be learning a lot faster. So this is the one that you're waiting for, this really strange tip which helps a lot more than you'd actually expect. And that is playing video games, especially driving games, especially the ones that will have a steering wheel. I've taught at least 4 people like this who have a dedicated game at home, and when they got in the car, it's like they've done hundreds of hours of driving before, because they knew exactly how to steer, they knew how to park, they knew how to reverse. What they had to work on then is, being on the roads for real and understanding how other people are gonna be behaving. And that doesn't take that much time once you understand how the car moves. It sounds crazy, but honestly, it really does help when it comes to getting your license faster. I hope those tips were useful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more like this. And remember, if you're doing a theory test soon and you want to pass it the next time, make sure you're joining our group using the link in the description. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.